What's up, people? It's a Diamond Starks here, and today we will be discussing a little less inspiring of a topic, and that is the pilonidal cyst. Did I say that right? Pilonidal. The pilonidal cyst. I think that's how you say it. So if you're here checking out this video, either you just want to hear me talk and discuss my struggles of life and my pilonidal cyst experience, or two, you're probably bedridden in severe pain like everybody else in the world that has ever experienced a pilonidal cyst, which has been described as some of the worst pain possible. So I'm gonna take you guys from A to Z, my whole experience, my diagnosis, my surgery, all of that. Okay, is just stick with me. Pilonidal people, stand up. Unite, bruh. I am 21 years old. I was probably diagnosed. Wow. I was probably diagnosed with the pilonidal cyst when I was like 16, 17. That's terrible. Anyway, so I'm in high school. I'm going to school, sitting down. I'm like, my butt hurts. You know, getting in and out the bed, my butt hurts. And I'm just like, what is going on? So finally, I'm like, Mom, I feel like this raised. At this time, I wasn't seeing any redness, nothing like that. Just a lot of pain. And so we go to the doctor, and he's like, you have a pilonidal cyst. And I'm just like, what? Who? So, you know, he looks at it and he tells me, you know, that the recovery and the just the whole process is just kind of shaky. And so he kind of leaves me with, okay, we're going to put you on some antibiotics to make the pain go away, but we really don't want to mess with it because these surgeries, you know, they can be, you know, very complicated. The recovery time can be long. Right now you're in school. That's probably not the best option. So I'm just like, okay, I take the antibiotics, and of course the pilonidal cyst comes back. It's irritated once more. So this goes on for a long period of time. I finally graduate high school. I still have this thing, and I fall down some stairs. And at this point, this cyst is like excruciating. I'm in excruciating pain, severe pain. It hurt to go to the bathroom. It hurt to walk. It was bad. It was infected. My body was starting to feel sick. And so I literally laid on the bed on my stomach for about 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I did pretty much nothing. At this point, I'm just like, I can't do this. Like, I can't, like, I had no idea when the cyst was gonna, you know, I didn't know if it was gonna rupture, if it was gonna go down. I fell down the stairs. So I'm just like, is my tailbone broken? Like, what's really going on? So one day I get in the tub, I'm soaking in hot water to do anything I can to relieve the pain, and the cyst ruptures. If your infected pilonidal cyst has ever ruptured, it's pretty bad, y'all. It's pretty bad. When the cyst ruptured, I was finally relieved from pain, but it was disgusting. The smell, the blood, the pulse, it was disgusting. And so I'm just like, okay, after that happened, I'm just like, maybe the thing won't come back. I technically know it's still there, but that would technically be like going through the process of, you know, getting it lanced, which is pretty much what my home nurse, my mother, did for me. And so I'm just like, okay, like, we're good. I had no pain, no problem. I'm thinking, you know what, I'm never gonna have to deal with this thing again. And pain comes back. And it comes back, and it comes back. So I get married. I know I kind of just skipped a whole lot, but I end up getting married, and I'm living in San Antonio with my husband. We traveled from Georgia to San Antonio, Texas, so that was over a 16-hour drive. By this time, my butt feels like it's gonna fall off. The whole thing is just gonna hit the floor, bro. You dropped your butt, basically. And so I'm just like, okay, babe, like, we gotta find a doctor. I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm not gonna put up with this. We find a doctor, and his name is Dr. Joe Johnston. Just in case you're in the Texas area, I know Texas is very broad, but just in case you're like, hey, I want to go to who you go to, Dr. Joe Johnston at the Stark Center is phenomenal. So I go to Dr. Johnston, and he looks at the cyst, and his initial response is, oh, we're not going to have to do anything to this. And I'm just like, look, man, look, I need this cyst removed now. That's not really what happened, but I'm just like, look, I've gotten the same response from, this is the third doctor. I actually went to 2 doctors in Georgia. This is the third doctor that says, we really don't want to touch it, you know. And I'm like, look, I'm tired of putting up with it. And he was like, hey, if you know you're in pain, you know, we can go ahead and do it. And he explains the process to me. Here's the thing that stopped me from having the surgery, the first 2 doctors that I went to. Obviously, one, the recovery and just the procedure itself. So I was told that even if you do go in and you cut out the pilonidal cyst, I'm not talking about just lancing and getting all the fluids and everything out. I'm talking about removing the cyst itself. So I'm talking about having the actual cyst removed. Oh, you know, they were telling me it'll come back. Oh, well, you know, we'll have to pack the incision and the chance of it healing isn't great. And I'm just like, pack? I need this thing closed up. I need closure. Okay, closure. And so I'm just like, I'm not having that done. So I go to Dr. Johnston and I visit him maybe 2 or 3 times before me and my husband were kind of like, yes, we'll do this. And so I will pop the name of the exact procedure. I will pop the name. And now, if you have a pilonidal cyst and you've gone through surgery and you've had your wound packed and unpacked and packed, the chances of that healing, I know, has not been great. And that was the reason that I was not comfortable going through the surgery. And so for those of you who have had to go through that, I am so incredibly sorry, because I just could not imagine the pain. So there was this girl who like messaged me on Instagram, and she's like, hey, I had this procedure. I'm having drainage. I'm having to wear a plaster, all this crazy stuff. And I'm just like, no, girl, like don't go through that again. And so she told me that this time they want to do the flap closure. And I'm just like, yes, go for it. Go for it. I know it's been hard. I know it's been tough, but go for it. And I'm telling you today, if you are able to find a doctor who is able to do the procedure that they did for me, get the cyst removed. I am 3 weeks post-surgery. I'm able to sit. I'm able to walk. I didn't have pain going to the bathroom. I mean, like, honestly, I'm just incredibly grateful, guys. I prayed a ton. I had people pray for me, and I definitely believe that, you know, it was also God that allowed me to recover and heal as soon as I did. And so going back to Dr. Johnston, you know, he told me that they would do this flap closure. They were going to stitch me up. I was completely knocked out during the surgery, okay? I was not awake. I did not experience any pain, okay? So I go into the surgery center at 6:30 in the morning. They start the surgery at about 8:30, you know, after getting, you know, paperwork and insurance and money. Jesus, money. And so they give you an IV because that's where your anesthesia is gonna go. Now, this is what I recommend. If you need to show this to your doctor and say, hey, I want what this girl got, then you do that. Okay, you do that. So I'm just chilling in the room. My husband, we're in this outpatient center. It kind of looks like, kind of like an emergency room where you have several like beds and everything. And so, you know, I was just trying my best just to stay relaxed, just to stay calm, and just believe that everything was going to be fine. It's my first surgery ever. So I'm like freaking out a little bit. I'm freaking out, and I'm just like, God, help me, help. So they're getting ready to roll me back. The anesthesiologist comes and she tells me what's going to happen. So actually for me, they, right before I went back, they gave me medicine in my IV to kind of relax me. And at that point, I kind of start feeling it immediately. And I'm just like, all right, babe, love you. I'm out. And they roll me back. I'm still semi-conscious in the operating room when they get me back there. I can't really see too much what's going on. I just like, oh, y'all playing music here. Like, oh, that's cool. We're gonna go ahead and give her the mask, take 5 deep breaths. They're probably like, this chick talking too much. She needs to go out. They put me to sleep. I take the 5 deep breaths, and then my assumption is that they put the anesthesia in my IV, which is running through my bloodstream. And then they give me a tube to obviously assist with my breathing while I am under. None of which I am aware. I don't know that a tube is going down my throat. I don't know that, you know, I don't feel medicine. You know, they say that the anesthesia can burn going in. I didn't experience that. So I was in the operating room for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. I wake up. I cough a little bit, obviously from the tube that, you know, they just pulled out. And I'm just like, is it out? And they're like, we got it. And I'm just like, awesome, where's my husband, you know? And so they said, we'll bring him back in a little bit. They asked me how was my pain. Honestly, I was in more pain going into the surgery than I was post-operation. I'm like, I don't know, 2, 3, and prior to that, I'm like limping, you know, walking back because I'm in so much pain from the cyst. Like the Monday before my surgery, I decided it was a good idea to go to the gym and like go in on the elliptical. Not a good idea. So I wake up and I'm not in too much pain. You know, they keep pushing, do you want medicine? Do you want medicine? What's your pain? I was just like, look, I'm still halfway drugged. Just give me the medicine so I can go back to sleep, okay? So they give me more pain medicine. And so that's it. I'm just kind of chilling there until the, you know, so much of the anesthesia wore off. I fell asleep. I woke back up. They wanted me to make sure I could walk and go to the bathroom before I went home. And that was that. It was a outpatient surgery, and I was home around maybe, you know, 3-ish, 4, just because it took me a little bit longer to get the anesthesia out my system. I did experience the vomiting and the nausea with the anesthesia once I got ready to stand up, but they say that's kind of common with women. They did give me something to sit on my stomach and crackers and Sprite, so it wasn't anything crazy. So I get home, and so obviously there's stitches, and they, you know, they kind of just put gauze on the where the incision was, and I also have a drain. Okay, so just a little tube. It was like maybe that big, just kind of coming out my butt cheek, you know, and this little thing. Kind of gross, so disgusting. And so obviously that helped with the recovery and just making sure that the site healed well. A few days after that, I was able to go ahead and get the drain removed, and then 2 weeks after my surgery, I was able to get my stitches out. So I don't have any stitches. I don't have a crazy scar. I'm really not in any type of pain. If I sit for long periods of time, obviously, you know, I'm still just a little stiff. They had to cut pretty down deep to the bone, none of which I experienced pain after. So my encouragement to you is, if you're afraid of pain and they're putting you to sleep and your doctor is confident in the fact that he can perform this surgery and that, you know, you're going to have a pretty decent time to recover, go for it. Go for it. You know, my doctor was telling me, if you're thin, you're healthy, you know, you're fit, you know, he kind of put me within a 2 to 3 week range. And honestly, you know, within a few days, I was able to just get out, get in the car and go get food, you know. And so maybe it was a week. And I think our church had a fall festival, so I just went and I sat at that. Nothing crazy. So, and everything just turned out a lot better than it could have, and a lot better than I expected. So I hope that kind of touched on everything as far as the pilonidal cyst. I go back to the doctor in after Thanksgiving. Today is the 13th of November, and so I'll go back to the doctor, and, you know, he'll give me a final clearance to say, hey, you can work out, hey, you can do, you know, pretty much whatever. And so I hope that gives somebody some comfort. There are some videos on YouTube that are extremely frightening. There are some images on Google that are completely disturbing. I don't recommend doing that for any more of your medical needs. It's so frightening, and honestly, like I said, I don't even have a huge scar, and so just some of those things can really be frightening. So try to stay away from too much of that, you know, reading too much and watching too many videos before, you know, your surgery, if you decide to go that route. But if you are confident in the fact that your doctor can do the surgery, if your doctor's confident, if you know, you have someone that can just kind of help you get around a little bit, you know, maybe a week or so after your surgery, you know, obviously I'm not saying that you'll recover that fast, but there are really positive pilonidal stories like mine. And so I just want to give some, you know, some positivity out there in the pilonidal world, because it's a little scary, it's a little frightening, it's a little dark, okay? So yeah, guys, that's it. And I really hope that, you know, this is giving you all some peace in regards to your pilonidal cyst. I'm so sorry that you're here and having to go through this. I know, I understand, but go ahead and get that thing out so you can get back to normal and enjoy your life, because it's a joy kill. It's a joy kill.